That giant thing is considered only 1D? What is this psychopath you guys developed in your spare time? Okay, maybe it's faster with the team? Alternox. Alternox. No!
But if you can't, I have marked an extraction point.
Not the systems, man. Why? It's like 8% chance for this thing to drop? Ha! Man, I is so useless as well. Well, these are going much faster because people usually are in the mission or something, and plus there's more people, so it goes by faster because at least we're guaranteed to pick up 100. Oh, these guys are already at 90 or something. Alternox! No! D, just because I complained and said the truth doesn't mean you get to punish me, okay? With this trash. Oh, just because nothing happened doesn't mean don't get to reward me. Please drop the thing so I can level up the weapon. Wow, D, what is this? I don't understand. The weapon isn't even that great. I got it so many times in Duviri circuit. It was actually pretty fucking bad. Oh my god, D, what am I gonna do with the Endo? Oh my god. Well, RNG is RNG, it's not entropic, you know, just because something has 7% chance of dropping doesn't mean eventually, like after 10 runs or 12 runs, you're guaranteed to get it. Mac players not even once. How did they ever find the worst build from a random YouTuber ever? I have no fucking idea. Oh my god! What's this joke, man? Oh my god, are you serious? D, can like grab your servers and shake them? Maybe there's something wrong in the memory? Dude, what is this? It's not that rare. No Void Cascade, today I'm gonna die doing this mission. Already got like 1,000,000 credits out of this. Something keeps going mute. Oh, it's you. Oh my god. How many crits do I get every time from here? 20. 25 on average. I literally don't want to edit this video today, D. Can you guys like fuck off? Just one day and not have anything happen in Warframe? It can be boring. This entire video is just gonna be me showing like I don't get the thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude. Kyle is no? Kyle should be yes, Jellyman Tree. Dude. D, this isn't funny. Dude, that item is not that good. Somebody's gonna be like, no, it is, especially on Giro. With her 20% extra multi-shot. And I'm like, yeah, what does 20% do? It doesn't trigger anything. It's free damage, bro. I'm like, yeah. You're right, it is. It's better than a Riven mod. Because it's like literally free. But still, 20% is only 20%, you know? It's not a miracle worker. Am I gonna talk about anime today? No. Life is too sad to talk about anime. Oh my god, D, I'm gonna blow my balls out of their sockets and then I need to go to the doctor in Canada, which don't exist anymore, so I'm gonna take responsibility for my balls. Dude, just drop it! Drop it! Kiss of the dragon! Mwah! There! Drop it, please! The blue baboon! That's actually an awesome name, man. And then Hanabi! Master Blue Baboon! What are you doing? The kiss of the dragon! Hanabi! Please let me! He was my old friend from many years ago, but he betrayed me. He went to the evil path. Oh no! Sorry, I'm just losing my mind with this. Somebody's gonna be like, only today? I'm like, yeah, always, baby. Always lost my mind. Absolutely love Void Flood. It's like a children's, PlayStation 2 game that you'd play as a kid. Without any violence, so your parents wouldn't take away the PlayStation 2. A spoonful of sugar in the medicine. The medicine goes down, down, down. The medicine goes down. This is not some sugar, this is bullshit. You put some salt in the medicine. Dude, I'm gonna do almost 80. I'm gonna do 80 of these missions. Great 69. See, there's a small one and there's a great one. Stark Scrooge. I ship Didier? I ship Diddy and Dead. Dead P. I don't know. There's a political joke in there somewhere. I don't like talking about politics. Hashtag. Lord, please! Please! Scourge! Please! You're my Scourge, man! Where is it? Where? What just disappeared?
Have torn open another rupture.
The angels are tearing my ass open. A spoonful of sugar and the medicine goes down, down, down. The medicine goes down. By the way, I'm very surprised there's no movies out there, maybe horror movies, where there's like a clown that is killing people, and they put those the slow down version of music. Like you spin me right round, baby, right round. And then it goes boom. The cliche of trailers? I'm very surprised about that. That there's a one for the sugar. A spoon. Boom. Full of medicine. Boom. Sorry, not spoonful of medicine, a spoonful of sugar. And the medicine goes down. It's coming! Boom! Medicine bound! The sugar is bitter milk! Absolutely hate when people do that. I hate those trailers so much. They think they're making high art! By the way, can I also mention, people did get stupid in our... people have actually lost skills in our society, just saying. I want to put it out there. I don't want to be a big fat asshole, but I just want to say, people, we definitely have reached the Fermi paradox. I think our society is done for. We officially reached a point where, incompetence is everywhere. I just want to say that. Because recently... What do you mean waiting for other players? I'm not waiting for anybody. Okay, D, I can insult society, honestly. Society sucks. Just like you guys with this mode. But the reason I said what I just said is because recently, in the last few months, a whole bunch of movies, big name movies, all the way from the Jurassic movies to the primordial horror hilarious. All the movies out there, the tons and tons and tons of movies out there, all those posters and trailers that we got, and each one is less quality than each other. Like, for example, the Jurassic... What is it? The newer Jurassic movie. And it was hilarious because her leg is in the wrong place, her body is completely distorted. The pterodactyl has 5 toes instead of one foot has 4, the other has 5. It's a complete disaster. And then several other movies, big budget movies are coming out and they all have the same poster. Very low quality. Even the trailer is very low quality. And I'm like, how is this possible, man? It's so stupid. These people are getting paid money to make disastrous posters for movies. Somebody's cousin or nephew or niece got hired, nepotism. And they're like, graphic design my passion. I'm like, yeah, but this is a job. No, it's my passion. My uncle at the studio let me make the poster for Jurassic Park. It's my passion. Graphics is my passion. Here's a pterodactyl with 5 toes. By the way, though, the lady's leg climbing the mountain is longer than her neck at that angle, which is wrong. Now you see me, now you don't. My passion is the graphic art. Here, 3 or 4 guys standing together in one corner. Each one looks more distorted than each other. Somebody's foot is floating, by the way. Graphics is my passion. I'm a passionate artist who has no concept of depth or shadows. I've never seen shadows in my life and how they work on a surface. I've never seen a person walk on some stairs. Graphic is my passion. You see, I'm an artist. I took 2 years of art in like a private school. Are you all doing 12 raptures? Okay, Jesus, listen here. We don't have time for that, okay? Also, why do they call it graphic design? Like, what does it even mean, graphic design? You're designing graphics. Graphic design. You're designing graphics. You know, maybe graphic design is an actual job in life, if that's how you're gonna describe it, graphic design. Just saying, just putting it out there, you know. What do you do? Graphic design. What does that mean? Just design of graphics. What kind? What do you mean, what kind? Dude, it's not a job. Graphic design is not a job. Explain what part. Are you an architect? You know, you work in the video game industry, stuff like that, you know? Graphic design. Okay, so you stay home and you don't do anything, right? That's what you tell your parents while selling pictures of OnlyFans of your feet. And that's it. No, it's graphic design, man. You don't understand. It's art. What do you mean I don't understand? It's art. It's not art, man. It's not art. It's graphic design. It's my passion. Here's a poster of a pterodactyl with 5 toes and 4 toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Because graphic design doesn't explain anything. You know, architects are proud that they're architects. They're like, I'm an architect. Somebody who just does art is like, yeah, I'm an artist. Someone who works in the video game industry, maybe they're less embarrassed, I don't know, but you know, even them. Someone who works with movies. Someone who works with, makes music videos and graphics over there, like special effects. They're all proud of saying what they do. On the other hand, people who, you know, clearly don't have a job. So he's like, are you bullying people that don't have a job? I'm like, that's not the point. The point is, you know, all those fakers out there that actually don't want to work. They want to pretend they're working at their uncle's company. You know, they just call it graphic design. And that's not a thing. There's a reason they have descriptors. You can't label it, man. We don't accept labels around here. Dude, this is not your sexuality. Unless you fuck graphics, in which case... Congratulations? When's a baby? Oh wait, even something that's not alive cannot afford to live with you. Honestly, every day. The only thing I know... This is not funny anymore. It's like almost 80 runs that I'm not getting the Alternox blueprint. What the fuck? All I know is that the Fermi paradox is well and alive and we're proof of it. People are like, hey, where are all the aliens out there? Why are they not talking to us? And you know, of course, there are people like me that are hopeful and we're like, maybe, you know, they don't wanna... They see that we're savages, they don't wanna engage with us. Or maybe like, you know, oh, the aliens out there are silenced because there's something out there that, you know, shouldn't hear us talk. Wow! Goosebumps, man, goosebumps, eldritch horror. No. I think it's proof that at a certain point, civilization just offs itself. Microplastic in our vegetables. We have viruses from cats that decapitate the guy's sperm. Our IQ is going down in a well, like really badly, you know, stupid people getting jobs or making posters that are like, they look like somebody who's 5 years old made it in their basement on DeviantArt. Sorry, that's an insult to people on DeviantArt. People on DeviantArt who draw DILFs in diapers have more skill than your average Nepo baby who is like, graphic is my passion. And then they don't know how to design a pterodactyl, so they have to AI generate a pterodactyl and then stencil it. Honestly, we are the Fermi paradox. Why are people surprised about the Fermi paradox? I don't understand. We're proof of it! Dude, the society's AI, sorry, not AI. IQ is supposed to go up, not down. We're not supposed to reach a point where apparently, you know, just sticking a pterodactyl on a picture is too hard. My daddy let me go to the expensive school for 2 years that, like, actually how much do they cost? Oh yeah, they cost something like $1,000 minimum. That's not including the rest of the budget, just the fee. $1,000 a month. So I can draw a pterodactyl with 5 toes and 4 toes in one angle. And I'm like, how are these people allowed in life to breathe the air that I breathe? It's so wrong, yet so right. And then people are like, wow! That movie, what was it called? I forgot. What was it? Idiocracy, right? Idiocracy. Why, it's a documentary! And then other people are like, no, it's not a documentary, you weirdo! You typical Redditor, everything's a documentary, gloom and boom. Sorry, gloom and doom, not boom. I mean, it might go boom, you don't know. And then a few years later, people in power are like, yeah, viruses don't exist. We don't need vaccines. I'm like, what? What? You know, I like to imagine there's a god out there and he's like, wait, humanity needs to end, honestly. I can't deal with this shit anymore. I like to imagine there is a beautiful planet full of busty elves and sexy lions out there. And God is doing everything in his power to cultivate that planet, and Earth is like, I fuck this planet, man. Fuck you guys. I gave you the ability of creating vaccines so you live long lives, and it's like you don't want it. Okay, man, this was a serious mistake I made here. Thoughts and prayers will take the viruses away. And he's like, what do you mean you take the viruses away? Why should I get to... Okay, here's the way I think. Why would God actually bother, like, doing menial work? Like, that's one of the things I don't understand. Why would he bother doing menial work? People will literally try their best to, like, teach their children or, you know, create AI that can do jobs by itself. You know, you outsource it. You're not gonna sit around the entire day doing the same thing over and over again. I'm like, dude, you want the guy to work overtime for your fat ass? What's wrong with you? Did you ever think maybe he wants to outsource the job to you guys? So you can take care of yourselves? Did you ever think about that? No, don't worry, thoughts and prayers. We don't need vaccines. In fact, start banning them left and right. And people are like, where are all the aliens out there? I think we have our answer. Aliens die off at a certain point because of the Fermi's paradox, which is stupidity just gets out there en masse. But don't worry, we have plenty of time to create anime where it takes 10 years to make season 2 and the first episode is of a princess peeing her pants. We definitely have time for that. I like how I brought it back to anime. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's anime's fault. Oh my god! Yeah, but each one is taking like 1 minute. Dude, my entire day... Okay, Dion, here I have until 7 p.m. Can we get on with this? I'm gonna literally have... I would literally have done 2 hours of this! Dude, no, this is too much. 2 hours for a random gun. You see, if there were less guns in Warframe... If there were less guns... I could at least be like, I totally understand that, and what is it? You know, the guns were unique and cool and that kind of stuff. I can at the very least be like, yeah, I understand why it takes so long to get the gun. Plus, DE needs to make money with the platinum thing, even though, you know, 90% of the money nowadays in circulation is free platinum money. I mean, it came from somewhere, yeah, but, you know, other than me buying stuff from the market, there's like literally no platinum sink. But the thing is, you guys have like 500 weapons, the 500 weapons. Also, you have an inventory limit of, I think, like 999 per weapon. Well, not per weapon, like weapon. So, you know, you're halfway there. Even DE admits that pretty much they don't have enough space for all the weapons they plan on releasing in the game. How about I do you instead? I don't even know why you're not dateable. DE's too afraid of giving us MILFs, huh? The closest thing to a MILF that we have is just Eleanor. It's not even real MILF. It's like, yeah, I want to have babies. Yeah, my babies are gonna eat me if we have one, though. So, you know, that's a bad idea. If you fertilize my ovaries, it's game over. Like, literally. Oh my god, the police! I'm gonna take your wife, how about that? I'm gonna steal your entire family for myself!
The angels are clawing at the Albrecht
I'm clawing at my prostate, man.
Every bit of vitoplast
You're every bit plastered. D, please, I beg you. D. Winter turtle. See, it's not the soldier though. Crazy laws. Yeah, I really thought you're that funny, man. A boy fem. By the way, I love it how Reddit still loses it on the femboy word. They absolutely lose it. And they're like, whoa, they should ban this word, it's a slur and everything. And up to today, I don't know where that's even coming from. Reddit, every time when that word loses it, I have no idea why. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, if British people are stupid and like every single word offends them, what can we do, man? They literally use the C word. You know, that is like fine, that is fine, but all the other words, no, we have to like report them. That they're bad. Oi, do you have a license to insult? Yeah, I have a license of doing your mom. Oi, I don't see that license. Bitch, it's just a joke. Oi, do you have a license to joke? Oi, do you have a license for the telly? Sorry, the watchy. Up to today, I don't understand how that works. Listen, I understand the license for a TV. If that license is going to, like, the TV stations and stuff, or you have, like, public cable, I can totally understand that. But 90% of the people don't have that, so you have a license just for the TV itself, which doesn't make any sense. And apparently...
You can always do more.
Girl, I
If you
wish
can't,
you...
I have marked an extraction point.
I'm gonna paint your insides white! But also, apparently, even if you have a... Like, apparently it's a thing in... where is it? In Japan and what do you call it? UK? What do you call it? UK? And apparently you need to... Like, even if you're not using your TV, you have to pay for it. The license. Even if you're not using it for cable or something like that, you're using the internet. You know, because, you know, TVs can connect to the internet or something like that. Apparently, you still need to pay a license. So, like, that doesn't make any sense, man. I paid for the TV, I paid the taxes on it and everything. I don't have any public channels, I'm not using any of your system services or anything. I'm doing everything with the internet for free, so what's the deal? Also, TVs nowadays rely on the internet. It has nothing to do with your shitty cables that, you know, they get destroyed under the weather. I'm literally, like, I'm being triple dipped for a license, if you think about it. I'm being triple dipped, what's up with that? But, like, in typical British people fashion, they just take it for their sins. They don't talk back against their government. All because Winston Churchill one day woke up and was like, hey, we need to literally melt every single metallic object in our country to fight fascism. And people are like, yes! Which, it's fine, you know, that is actually fine. That is actually fine. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done that. Those were war times, people were rationing and stuff. It's totally acceptable. Life and death scenario. But that doesn't mean you guys get to act like little bitches later on in your lives and get triple dipped on a license. Someone out there is gonna be like, that's not at all what a license is. I'm like, really? Because you could fool me! You could have fooled me with all the information out there, the way people write. Unless literally every single British person out there every day is lying how a license works for the TV. To every single North American out there, that's how they say it works. Then again, there aren't normal people left on the internet, so, you know, it could be a lie. It could be like one of those beautiful lies, you know, that people tell about themselves for their country. Like, what is it, Norway? Sweden? Norway, maybe? I don't remember. You know, like the expression, comma fucker. What I mean is, like, just, you know, somebody who's stuck up with a grammar thingy. And I remember this, like, nude model guy that we talked to and he was like, yeah, we're over there, we say comma fucker, yeah. I'm like, cool, man. And then later on, when you talk to actual everyday people, they're like, no, I never even heard that word. Yeah, it does exist, but we don't actually use it. You know, it's one of those beautiful lies on the internet, where you're like, comma fucker means somebody's stuck up on grammar and everything. That's what we say in our country every day to all those nerds out there. And then you talk to actual, you know, adults, normal people, even young people. Somebody's gonna be like, where do you find young people? I'm like, don't ask. You know, and they're like, that's not a thing, man. We don't say that. It's not a common phrase, you know? Saying to each other, yo, you comma fucker. You're so stuck up on little details, man. Unbelievable. It's a common saying over here, you know, just saying, bro. It's so common, it's very common, it's such a common saying. At least according to the internet. And then you interact with actual people and it's like, no. Where do you even know this word from? Yeah, it exists, but it's not a common thing. We don't say it left and right. My grandmother doesn't wake up in the morning and starts going, "Motherfucker!" No, to the rest of the family. Even our strict grandma that used to beat us with a ruler. I'm just saying, we don't use that word around here. I think that's the best part about insults and cultural knowledge about different countries. You know, because it's always the people that say extreme stuff that are online, terminally online. And they'll always lie about their country. In my country, if you do this thumbs, it means something bad. So, you know, careful, bros. You might get in trouble. And then 90% of their thread posts on Reddit are like literally them trying to share that knowledge in every way possible while playing Dota. And they're like, hey, look at me, I give them a thumbs up. It means fuck you in my country. Haha. And then you ask people and they're like, Yeah, kind of, but not really. Nowadays, if you do the thumbs up to somebody, they know you don't mean an insult. You know, unless I guess you're like 90 years old and you're like going through World War depression or something. Like it might be culturally very, very ingrained in some people, but it's not an actual like normal, you know, thing. You don't simply go in the street, do a thumbs up, and then all the people out there, you know, over the age of, sorry, not over the age, that's a whole different story. Under the age of like 90 are gonna start beating you up in the streets, you know? That's not gonna happen. But of course, leave it to the internet to be like, no, that's how it is. Guys, careful! They'll take you to prison! And then some Redditor is like, dude, I went over there, I was doing thumbs up to everybody, nobody beat me up. In fact, even some old guys are just laughing at it. You know, because they're like, Lol, Ruffle, look at this foreigner doing the thumbs up, it means an insult, they don't know Lol, Ruffle. You know, that's the most we got out of it.
I have opened an escape lift for you. Use it when you need it.
God, I wish I was inside your elevator lift. So he's like, what do you say? I'm like, I said what I need to say. Low girt. See, he has a low girt, he has a girt, he likes yogurt, and we have the framework, and we have Winter Turtle. I like how it's always the same people. Everybody's trying to farm this stupid part that is not dropping, like Ebola. Please, dude, this is not funny. It's been 80 runs, man! 2 hours, 2 hours. Okay, what is this right now? How many minutes does this take? I do between 1 minute and okay, let's split the difference and say 2.5 minutes, okay? So about 60 minutes in an hour, that's 120 minutes in 2 hours. We divided by 2.5 minutes on average. At the very minimum, I did almost 50 runs, D, at the minimum. But I did over, because I can tell from the credits I did over!
We won't ever leave you dry.
What is this? Dude, if I reach 2 million credits, what the fuck? Why not take your family too? You'd never take your family to such a place as this unless you're eager to get them all killed. Were they even allowed to have families back then? Aren't 90% of the Tennos and all orphans? Isn't the illusion of parenthood just that, an illusion? All the only exception, I actually had real parents, unlike my loser academia nut friends. Did they make this entire Tenno Zen, Zezen, Tenno 00 Zen, whatever they mean, after accidentally stealing what my academia nut? Is that when it happened? Especially during the school arc? We gotta have the entire school arc in our Warframe with a little bit of trauma attached to it. Thankfully, it's not a bunch of students trying to assassinate a giant yellow tentacle monster. Shows that they don't actually appreciate good anime. Ha! They watch the normie stuff. Ugh. Typical normies, man. Back in my day, we watch obscure anime, man. So underground, you have to dig for it. The Ulterior Drifter had a family? Yeah, only us, nobody else. I don't know what happened to the father. Let me guess, father was in Ottawa and is a farmer, right? Okay, D, this confirms our father's Ottawa and is a farmer, right? That'll be so funny. The reason you survived everything is because you had my genes. Well, you mean your pants, Dad? No, I mean like literally, like my genes. Your pants, no! Like my genetics! That's how you're able to survive everything! I'm half Tau! Yes, child! But wait, then how did that, like, how did you and Mom... Don't ask, kid, don't ask. Your mom was pretty kinky. Hey! What? I'm your dad! It was consensual! Yeah, but that's not the point, Dad! You can't go up to your kid and be like, your mom was hot. That's just wrong, Dad! I mean, what do you mean? Dad! Dad did give a good pipe to Mom. Yeah, but they don't need to specify it, you know? I don't need to know about that. Something, you know, it's like Grandpa is like, your granny was a little bit of a slut, and I'm like, Granddad! Yo, old man, yo! Sherry put out, hey! But wait, why does your character, not your character, why does the Drifter look so much younger over here due to the lighting versus the 99 lighting, which makes them look ancient in comparison? You have to know that your father was giving your mother those diabolical backs. Why diabolical? Did the semen have like little horns on it or what? Like, eh? Okay, I was just giving an example. I was just giving an example. We don't need to know the details of the void back shots. Do you think there's a title of a movie? The void back shots. The void back shots coming in you, July 2135. Why did you just make it sound like a mirror? Coming in July. God. Do you know the chili of carne that you leave? You know how when you leave the chili con carne out and it builds up mold? Well, that's what your vagina looks like. Hey!